Welcome to Business Connect, a podcast produced and presented by the City of Miramar in the great state of Florida, the gateway to the Caribbean and Latin America. This podcast airs every third Thursday in the month at 7 p.m. and brings you information, tips, and ideas from experts to take your business to the next level. We also get to hear from folks who have done it all and can share insights with you. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Johnny Douglas.
Welcome to the City of Miramar's Business Connect, where we connect your business to what's important. My name is Johnny Douglas, and I'm your host for today. Today, we celebrate National Financial Literacy Month. And in doing so, our focus and our attention will be on the bottom line of your business. Whether it's personal assets or whether it's your business assets, the bottom line makes a difference if it make you or break you. Today, we have two experts in their fields that is going to help you with tips, resources, and information that can help you stabilize your financial situation. Today we have with us Mr. Desmond Bascom. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm good.
Mr. Desmond Bascom is the Director of Financial Services at Xander Financial.
Absolutely. So me, I'm 34 years old. I've been in the finance industry for about 7 years. Mm-hmm. I'm a graduate of Florida International University with a master's degree in finance, and been director of Xander Financial for about 6-7 years, probably shortly afterward, made a decision to take the entrepreneurial role into financial services, and we've been working and helping families ever since, and businesses as well.
Awesome. That's awesome. We're glad to have you here. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
And now we also have with us Ms. Carissa Chisholm. She is Vice President, Marketing Manager, Women in Business Ambassador for Valley National Bank. Welcome. How are you today?
Thank you, Johnny. I'm doing great, thank you. We are a full-service financial institution, and we are a relationship bank. We're not just transactional, so we're in it for the long term with our customers, and we focus on building a relationship with our customers, both on the business and the personal side.
Awesome, awesome. Well, as you see, we have experts here that's going to get you in the right direction with your financial situations. And one thing I've noticed about the Financial Literacy Month, it is that month that we want to focus and nail down some of those resources and information that can help your business grow and get to the next level. You mentioned relationships.
Yes.
I want to start there with relationships. What do you mean by relationships you want to build with customers? Because sometimes, well, I know in my study and my research, relationships work best. So how does that work with your bank? How does that look?
Absolutely. So we are heavily focused on customer service.
Mm-hmm.
So when we meet with a client, we don't just open an account with them. We assign them a personal banker, and we assign them that person, that go-to person that's going to be there to answer their questions, to do their follow-up, to be there with them. So we focused on not just their personal needs, but also the needs of their family, and also extends to their business.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Personal, I love personal contact. I just really love that. It makes people feel more comfortable, that they do have an access and a way in, that they're not intimidated.
Absolutely.
So that you take the intimidation out. I love that when you do that. Okay, so there are some factors that are involved when businesses want to have financial success. What are some of those factors that are involved? Desmond, can you help us with that?
Absolutely. Well, I think the first and most important thing you need to do is know your numbers, right? Like, so what I mean by that is, I've seen and dealt with many business owners who, they don't have the proper accounting in place. And that's extremely important, whether you learn bookkeeping yourself or whether you, consult with someone who does accounting, a CPA, who can do your bookkeeping and provide you with the reports that are needed for you to analyze your business. That is extremely important, because if you don't know what's successful and what's not, what opportunities you have within your business by looking at the financials, it's hard for you to move in the next direction of where you should go or what you should do. Like, for example, you might have marketing efforts that you're allocating towards specific places, whether it be social media, or whether it be some type of referral-based systems where people are incentivized for referring, affiliation programs, whatever it is.
Right.
If you don't know exactly what's yielding the higher returns, it's harder for you to make a decision to say, hey, I'm going to go ahead and focus more on referral-based side of my marketing. So I'm going to allocate more resources to that. If you don't know, it's like you're pretty much, throwing darts at a dartboard and you're just hoping that something works out.
Wow.
Same thing when it comes to expenses.
Mm-hmm.
I think every business owner needs to look at their expenses maybe at least twice a month. Okay. Maybe the middle of the month and the end of the month. Why? Because there's many times where we, number one, tend to, misappropriate necessity to things that are just optional for running your business. And if you look at and evaluate things that you don't need, then you can often eliminate those things before they get out of hand. Okay. And then you can eliminate those, continue to minimize costs on your business, and then of course, obviously that's going to help with your bottom line, make you more profitable, and then you can make better decisions with your business by knowing your numbers.
Wow. Okay. And I like what you said when you said review your financials every month.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of people don't do that, and I think it's so funny they don't do that, because if you still operate with a checkbook, you balance it every month. When you pay bills every month, you balance your checkbook. So why would you not balance and make sure you do that same checking with your business account? Would that be correct?
Absolutely. Yeah. And we're in the digital age. There's so many apps and software available out there now that can help you with balancing. Absolutely. It's not a manual process anymore. There's a lot of resources and things available to help you that can automate that process for you.
So by saying that, planning, long-term planning, how does long-term planning, now does that financial, like looking at your books and doing that financial checkup on your business, does that go into a long-term plan with your, how does that look with a long-term plan? And what does that long-term plan look like for a business, even for a startup business? How should it look?
So absolutely. I mean, every business should have a vision, a mission, and a long-term plan for their business, and then also have a plan to get there. Doesn't matter where you are in your business, as Desmond said, it's important that you check on your financials monthly, you stay on track, keep that vision and that mission top of mind and in front of you, and check up on your financials regularly to make sure that you stay on track on that path, because you may see money coming into the business, but you may not be. If you're not checking on your financials, then you don't really know if you're being profitable and that you're staying on track to meeting your long-term goals. And it's, if you are a startup company or you're in the new phases of your business, it's as long as you're making baby steps and the right baby steps to get to the next phase of your business, that's important.
Wow. Okay.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more, simply because of the fact that I think without a goal or without a vision of where you're going, each decision that you make on a daily basis should be aligned with where you're trying to go. Okay. So if you don't know where you're going, then you can't make the decision today to help yourself get there. Like your future self should thank your current self on the decisions that it made in order to get you where you want to go in the future. Like and if you don't know where you're going, then you're just going to be in limbo, going in circles. So I think it's extremely important to have a goal, write it down, make it plain, like they say, and from there, when you continue to assess your goals, it helps you, again, with those numbers, allocate your resources to continue to do more to make your business more profitable, create new lines of business, invest more, whatever it might be for your bottom line.
Okay. So now, saying that, what would be a good strategic plan? Like, we always talk about strategic planning. Like, when you talk about finances, it's easy to talk about a broad financial plan. But what are some of those intricate steps or milestones that you need to do to make sure that you're on the right track? Because sometimes you can get off track if you don't have those milestones and the strategic planning for the long-term plan. So how does that look for a business owner? Say I'm a business owner. I'm new to the game. I've got my business opened up and everything. I know how to work my business. I am not a financial person at all. So what should be one of those things I'm looking for in a strategic plan for my business to make sure that I'm on track with my finances? Should I hire someone or should I do QuickBooks? What should I do?
So there's several things you can do, Johnny. First thing you want to do is ask for help, right? If you're not a financial person, you can ask for help. And a great place to start is with your banker. They have a lot of resources. We have a lot of resources available that can help your business. We're not just a transaction bank or a relationship bank, but we also provide financial literacy to our communities. And one of those things that we do is we provide resources and information that can help your business. QuickBooks is a great tool that a lot of business owners use. If you can't afford a CPA, if you can't afford to hire someone to help you with that, QuickBooks is a good resource to use. But it's important to ask for help, and even having experts like Derek and myself on the show to provide that information is also an easy and convenient way to get information that will help your business. But I think before you start any business, it's important to do your research. Find out the target audience that's appropriate for your business. Do a SWOT analysis, learn about the strengths, the weaknesses, the opportunities for your business. Look at your competitors, making sure that you're pricing your product, if it's a product-driven business, properly. And then all those things are going to help you with your bottom line. You want to know also how much money you're going to need to run your business. That's going to help you when you come to me and say, I need a loan. You'll have a better understanding of how much you need to borrow and how much you need to run your business on a monthly basis.
Awesome. You lead me to another great question. And Desmond, in your field, you work with businesses to get them ready to go to Valley Bank, correct?
That's correct.
When a business owner comes to you, what is one of the things you focus on with that business owner to make sure that they are pre-qualified by you to be qualified by Valley Bank?
I think the very first thing, when she alluded to relationships, is extremely important because not everyone who comes to me is mentally ready to go on that journey, right? And I think that's very important to assess who you're working with and who you're going to end up establishing and developing a relationship with, because what we do in the credit consultant aspect is about partnership, right? It's not like it's a one-trick pony where we're able to just do everything for them and then they can just walk into the bank the next day. It's really about having a consultative approach, being able to guide that client in the right way and understanding what each other's roles and responsibilities are as we move closer towards what we're looking for. So that's number one, assessing who that individual is, and then secondly, really identifying what that goal is and keying into that goal and helping them really understand what it takes to achieve said goal. And once we know that as consultants, then we reinforce that throughout the journey just to continue to motivate them to do what needs to be done, whether that's giving them directions to say, hey, maybe you should reach out to Valley Bank, see if you can get a credit card to help you build your credit. Or maybe you can look into paying or settling a item with a company that you have an outstanding debt obligation with, something like that. That would be their responsibilities. And if somebody is just not being accountable, you know what I mean, for where we are today, and then they're not going to be willing to move forward towards getting to where they need to be so that they can go and be qualified for that loan.
Awesome. Okay, and I'm touching on that too. That's very, very important. Your credit history. Now, do personal credit? Is there an aspect that you look into personal credit as well for a business owner who's just starting out, startup?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to take that as the banker who can talk about
absolutely.
The personal credit
So personal
importance.
credit is very important, even in the business, because when you apply for a loan, a lot of times they're going to ask for a personal guarantor. So your personal credit does play a big role in getting a loan for a business as well.
Okay. Okay. So now, how does one repair their credit to the point of where it's okay for a bank to say, okay, now we can have this conversation? What are some of the steps that you may want to take your clients to?
All right, so first thing we do is look at an overview of what their credit situation is, right? So we go line by line to look at what's helping their credit and what's bringing their credit down as well. There's two aspects of credit that's extremely important. One is the score and one is the actual credit quality of the report itself, the strength of the report. So are they diversified in the types of credit that they have on their credit? Meaning, is it a revolving, like credit cards on there? Are there installments? Is there a mortgage on there? Is there a loan on there that they're paying off? Which shows their flexibility in being able to meet different types of obligations. I would think she could back me on this. This is very
Absolutely.
attractive
Yes.
to lenders when they can see, oh, this person is great at management of debt. It's not about eliminating, but it's about managing it. And then there's some low-hanging fruit that we can address, and we can help them through challenges, certain items like collections and what have you. That's important because a lot of times collection agencies are third parties to the original creditors, and then we're able to challenge them and help them get those removed with the least amount of cost to the client as possible. And then you might have certain things that are a little bit more stubborn, which they just can't be challenged off. So, okay, well, what's plan B? How do we settle this? I hope that you've been saving, like we told you in the consultation, to be ready, you know, when it's time to settle, to be called upon to say, hey, we got you 60% discount on your the total amount.
Right.
Are you ready to meet that obligation? That's where that partnership comes in. So when we're looking at different opportunities for them to strengthen their report and score, another thing is, as a consultant, not being afraid to reach out to that person's lender or banker that they might have been working with, because ultimately those are the individuals who are going to approve their loan, right?
Right,
So
exactly.
it doesn't make sense for me to guess and assume like, okay, well, this is what most lenders want. No. Let me call your lender.
Right.
Let me find out what exactly do you need to see improved, whether something needs to be settled, whether it needs to be removed, whatever. What do you need so that we can work towards that in our team and increase the likelihood of the client being creditworthy?
Wow. So you're talking about an equitable relationship
Absolutely.
between
Absolutely.
the
Circle of
business
influence
owner,
is extremely
you
important.
and the lender.
Absolutely. But in any business, circle of influence. It's not just dealing with the client itself, but you also need to know who you can partner with, where they benefit from your success also as another business owner and a business partner. I think since we're talking about business, that's going to end up harnessing relationships with other businesses who can refer you business, therefore strengthening your pipeline. It's extremely important, not only just the end user client, but then also those businesses that you can build relationships with also.
Now that works very well for someone who's starting up a startup business. What about that individual who has been in business and just hit a rough patch and their credit is shot, but the rough patch led them to the point of where we need financial help? How does that look, and how does the bank look at that as well when they've been a client of yours in the past and they have shown that they are capable, but at this point in time now, it's been rough?
Yeah.
How can they work with the bank on that?
So we look at the whole relationship. We look at it holistically. But your credit is very important if you're going to come to the bank and ask for money. But we also look at it as on a case-by-case basis, because we saw a lot of that during the pandemic, right? We saw a lot of businesses that some of them thrived in the pandemic and some of them were hurting in the pandemic. So as a bank, if you have an established relationship with us, we do take a look at that, and we try to work with you. We try to help you as best as we can. We have a newer program that started out of the pandemic because we saw that a lot of our business owners, they had a need. And instead of turning our back on our communities, we did something about it. We put together our community lending group. You've heard me talk about this before, Johnny.
Absolutely.
And it's the streamlined process that we have at the bank. It's a non-traditional way of lending to our business owners in the community, where they don't have to provide a lengthy, list of financials that we normally ask for when you go through the traditional way of borrowing. So that's one way that we have come together and created a solution for our business owners in our community to help them.
Awesome. And I know I'm a fan of Valley Bank. I'm a fan of Valley Bank for a couple reasons, but one reason step out for me is because you focus on women-owned businesses.
Yes.
I love that program. Can you give us an overview of that program?
Yes, absolutely. So our Valley Women in Business program is a program that we started a few years ago. I'm one of the ambassadors. And we created a platform where women can come together, grow themselves, grow their business, and network. It's that community for women entrepreneurs. We have a page on LinkedIn and Facebook, Valley Women in Business. And, there's a lot of resources and valuable information that we post on those pages. We have a book that we read every quarter. We talk about it online. And we have a newsletter that goes out every month with just important information that we think could benefit are women entrepreneurs. But it's great. Every woman that I've talked to about that program are excited about it. We also have an account. It's a package type of account where you get certain perks by opening that account and certain benefits you could take advantage of at the bank. So it is a great program, and I encourage our women entrepreneurs to take advantage of it. And it's also an opportunity to network and grow your network, because in any business that you are, you need clients, right? And the bigger your network, the more successful, in my opinion, I think your business is going to be. And I've met some great women through our Value Women in Business program.
Awesome. Awesome. I can't say enough about the program. And when I speak of you, Mr. Bascom, your firm focuses on the little man, those mom and pop businesses, those businesses who don't necessarily get a shot. Or they don't think they have a chance.
Absolutely.
And I admire that. I love that about your firm, how you do that. What are some of the steps that you take when you look at a business owner like that? Maybe a business owner, they have a desire to start a business, but maybe they're not quite ready yet. How do you handle that with a business when you have to tell them, or you have to suggest to them that maybe this is not the right time? Don't throw away the business plan, but let's work towards the business plan. How does that work?
Well, exactly what you said. Part of what we do is being completely transparent with said person, right? So we don't necessarily want to sell them a dream, where we're over promising and under delivering. So it is more of a relationship approach where we're making sure that we're holding them accountable to whatever it is that they want to do. So they might not be ready today. But if we can continue to follow up with them and just see what they're doing, where they are along with the process, and then just continue to have certain checkpoints to help them get to where they can then qualify, then at that point we can help them with whatever it is, whether it's referring them to a partner or whether it is helping them with some of the channels that we have for them to be able to acquire funding as well. But not every client qualifies today when they call today. There's only so much that any business can do to really help a client, so they have to be able to meet us where we can help them.
Got it. Okay, awesome. One last question before we go. Either one, you can answer it. How do you monitor your expenses? How does a business owner learn to monitor their expenses? Now, you've gotten a loan, business is going well. Okay, now you got expenses. You got distributors that you're dealing with. You got employees you're dealing with. How do you manage that? What is a good way of doing that? Any advice for a business owner?
I think it's different for everyone. Some people are very spreadsheet driven. You can manage it through a spreadsheet. One thing I always recommend to business owners is to get a business credit card and just keep all your business expenses on that card.
Okay.
That's a very easy way to track your business expenses.
Okay.
You just know that credit card is dedicated to my business expenses. It's an easy way to reconcile at the end of the year. There are a lot of, applications and electronic ways right now to monitor your expenses. Receipts. Gone are the days where you're, putting your receipts in a shoebox. That actually still happens today, but there are actually apps nowadays that you can upload your receipts and better ways. Exactly.
CPA right here they are.
I've seen it. I saw it this year in 2023. But there's just so many ways out there now electronically that you can track your expenses. But definitely use QuickBooks is one way to do it. A spreadsheet if you're a spreadsheet type of person, but definitely get a dedicated bank account or a business credit card. Awesome. I recommend.
Awesome. Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome. There's so many things we could talk about. I know our time is up, but thank you for being here, and we'll talk more off here because there's a lot of information we want to get
Absolutely.
out. I really thank you for being here, both of you for being here with your expertise, and I know this has been very helpful for a lot of businesses who are listening in. Business owners, if you're out there, make sure that you sign up for Miramar Pulse's newsletter. Go on MiramarFL.gov /Business Pulse. There you will find a lot of information about what the city is doing when it comes to financial opportunities, when it comes to weather alerts, when it comes to events that's going on in the city. It's all there in Business Pulse. Also, I want you to take notice of what's going on with the City of Miramar. I'm so excited about this. One of the things we're starting to work with our local businesses to give them exposure. How do we do that? We have a program called Open Rewards Program. And you can sign up for that and download the app at any of the app stores you have, Miramar Open Rewards. How does it work? Every time you shop at a business in the City of Miramar, you get 5% rewards back in your pocket for shopping at our local businesses in the City of Miramar. And so this wraps up our show for today. As always, thank you for being a part of us today. And most importantly, stay connected.
Thanks for listening to the Business Connect podcast. Be sure to visit MiramarFL.gov/podcast to join the conversation, access the show notes, and discover our fantastic bonus content. We would love for you to subscribe, rate, and give a review on iTunes. Until next time.